Broadcasting live from the Compton Youth Academy. It's opening weekend for the Academy Barons as they get set to take on the Arroyo Seco Saints this Saturday evening. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's the second game of the season, and the Barons are coming off an impressive 5-1 win over the Philippines baseball group last night. The pitching really stood out, as 6 different arms combined for 14 strikeouts and limited the Philippines offense to just 3 hits. The Barons managed 5 runs off 6 hits and showed a display of talent in their first game. As a team, they stole 5 bases, hit 2 doubles, and came up with some timely hits. The performance gave all the Barons fans in attendance something to cheer about and look forward to as to what's to come this summer. For the Saints, it's also their second game of the season, but they're coming off a deflating 12-7 loss to the San Diego Waves last night. It was a game in which they out-hit the Waves 13-7. However, the Saints left 7 men on base and committed 5 errors on the defensive end. We'll see how they bounce back in their first road game of the season here at the Compton Youth Academy. The Academy Barons are led by first-year manager James Bishop. He is joined by pitching coach Eiji and assistants Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, Taishi Nakawake, and Jonathan Largaspada. The Arroyo Seco Saints are led by manager Aaron Milam, and he is joined by assistants Matt Stone, Fred Prudrith, and Jacob Castro. The first meeting between these two programs this season, the Saints had the Barons' number last year, winning 4 of the 6 contests. We'll see how things shake out in this Saturday evening's game. Starting lineups and first pitch when we come back.
What player on the Barons will make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welcher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Konoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer. Jimmy Welcher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jay Klinoski.
I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the side.
Nah, I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo, he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game, or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably the best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
Back from commercial break, my name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you can join us this Saturday evening. It's opening weekend in the California Collegiate League as both teams get set for their second contest of the year. The Academy Barons host the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's a beautiful evening, partly cloudy skies, but not too many clouds in at the moment. They've parted ways. 72 degrees in the city of Compton. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for both teams tonight. For the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints, they'll be in their navy blue tops, gray bottoms, and they're led by manager Aaron Milam. Lineup will look like this. It's leading things off, it's the shortstop Dylan Immel. Bryce Robinette bats second and plays third. First baseman Sean Asperger bats third. In the cleanup spot is right fielder Cannon King, followed by Carson Panarisi, the left fielder. Jacob Freer bats sixth, while Camden Andrews is behind the plate and bats seventh. In the eighth spot, it's Juan Pablo Monzo, the designated hitter. And rounding out the order is the center fielder Blake Mitchell. That's the starting lineup for the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints. They travel from the city of Pasadena, and they fell yesterday to the San Diego Waves by a score of 12-7. They're 0-1 on the year. And for the Academy Barons, their defense will look like this. In the outfield from left to right, Chip Mertz in the corner. Jackson Tyler gets his first start of the summer. Antonio Lujan is in right. Kai Nagashima is at third. Elijah Clayton at short. Nathaniel Williams moves to second. And Jason Del Villar is at first. Carlos Morales gets his first start of the summer behind the dish. And Jared Gallane gets his first action on the mound for the Academy Barons in 2026. First pitch, low and away, ball one to Dylan Immel. And that's how we get things started. First pitch at 6:20. Glad you could join us wherever you're joining us from. Game 2 on the season. The Barons are coming off a 1-0 victory over the Philippines baseball group. Galang bounces back with the strike. 1-1 the count. Immel awaits the next pitch. And that's down and away for ball two. Immel spent this past season at Wagner College, a Division I school, but he spent 2 seasons at Cerritos Community College. Handful of players that played for the Cerritos Falcons. Went the JUCO route, found himself a new home after 2 seasons, and he has a 3-1 count. It's the first action on the summer for Jared Galang in this past year. He spent the season at Fresno State in his previous 2 seasons. The 3-1 pitch is over for strike 2. Immel thought it was strike 3, or ball 4, excuse me. For Galang, he's going to be a junior in the transfer portal, but he spent 2 seasons at Fresno State. Got most of his work in his freshman year. The full count pitch, fouled off, out of play. We'll do it again. As a freshman, Galang made 17 appearances. He pitched 19 innings. He posted an ERA above 11 with 16 strikeouts. Batters hit .366 against him. He only made 1 appearance his sophomore year. Galang from the windup. Another payoff pitch, well off the plate. That's ball 4. First base runner for the Arroyo Seco Saints. At the top of the broadcast, we mentioned the Saints had the Barons' number last year. They won 4 of the 6 matchups. And the Saints went all the way to the California Collegiate League Championship, however, came up short in the Southern Championship. The Conejo Oaks went on to the championship and win the league. Jason Del Villar holds the runner. The Saints team aggressive on the base paths. They led the CCL, the entire league, in stolen bases a season ago. Different players than they had last season, but a couple familiar faces. First pitch strike from Galang as he goes from the stretch. Middle infield and double play depth. 0-1 the count to Bryce Robinette. Galang steps off. Bryce Robinette played at Azusa Pacific for 2 seasons in the transfer portal. Throw back to first. Del Villar's tag. Not in time. Morales with a strong throw. Had it been closer to the line, Immel might be out. Morales, a catcher from Santa Ana College the past 2 seasons. Threw out 6 runners this year. Galang steps off for the second time in this at-bat. You can see on the corner of your screen, Immel likes to hop off to his lead. It's distracting the pitcher. Galang goes quickly. Next pitch, just off the plate. Tough call. Didn't miss by much, and Robinette has a hitter's friendly count, 2-1. Now Robinette, along with a few other players, are from Azusa Pacific, just like Antonio Lujan for the Barons, and all of them are in the transfer portal. We'll get into that after this pitch. Galang fires ball 3. But Azusa Pacific announced that they'll be transitioning to the Division III level. That's why so many players are in the transfer portal from Azusa Pacific. They're going from Division II to Division III. Galang's next pitch in the dirt. It's ball 4. Throw down to first. We have ball 4 over here. The scoreboard reads ball 3. Full count. So it's a full count instead. Galang's next pitch, and Robinette stays alive. Confusion early on, and we had a delayed start time. There were some issues with the uniforms of the Arroyo Seco Saints. They didn't have their pants. The pants had to be delivered pretty close to original game time at 6:05. It's a full count. To Robinette. Galang kicks, steal, runner takes off. Morales' throw to first. Not in time. That was a bang-bang play. There is one out. Immel stays at first base. He took off on the pitch, but quickly decided to head back to first base. And Morales' throw was there in time. However, Del Villar's tag was not in time. Immel stays at first. 1 out in the top of the first inning. And in steps the 3-hitter, Sean Asperger. Quick move to first base. Del Villar applies the tag, but Immel is safely. Asperger went to Santa Barbara City College for the past 2 seasons. Played in 74 games for the Vaqueros. Galang's next pitch. That's the first pitch of the at-bat. At the knees, strike 1. Asperger is a native to Pasadena, but left the area to go to Santa Barbara City College and play for Jeff Walker. Pretty good program they have up there. Galang makes a jump move. Del Villar lunges to keep that one in play. Immel was caught hopping off the base, and a good throw might have got him for the second out. Immel continues to stay active. 0-1 the count to Asperger. Offers at this one. Nagashima in foul territory. Towards the dugout, runs out of real estate. And that's strike 2. There's only 3 substitutions. Defensive changes from last night's lineup. Jackson Tyler starts in center. Last night we saw Eiji Sawamura. Kai Nagashima gets to start at third. That's where Nathaniel Williams was at. He's at second base. And last night we saw David Aguirre get the start at second, while Carlos Morales starts in place of Nigel Buckley, who's DHing tonight. Galang's next pitch. Runner takes off, and Morales couldn't get a clean throw. It popped out the glove. It's a stolen base for Immel, and a 1-2 count for Sean Asperger. Long pause from Galang as he gets the sign from Morales. Runner on second. Jump move from Galang. No tag as Clayton comes off the bag to secure it. Another 1-2 count. Galang's pitch. That's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Galang on the mound. Asperger is retired. And a chance for the four-hitter, Cannon King. He gets the hit with the runner in scoring position. King made some noise yesterday in the lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Finished with 3 hits, went 3 of 4 at the plate, drove in 1 run and scored 1 as well. Productive play, productive day at the plate. Galang's first pitch to the left-handed hitter, off the plate. King is also in the transfer portal, played this past season at Cal State San Marcos. Put up some quality numbers in 50 games. He had .339. Swing and a miss. First strike of the at-bat. Hit 14 home runs, 12 doubles, 3 triples. Walked 32 times to 26 strikeouts, so good plate discipline and vision as well. 1-1 count. King takes strike 2. Immel the runner at second. 2 outs. Galang on the mound for the Barons. King will have to battle. Galang kicks, deals. King sends it in the air. Left field. Mertz camps underneath. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Arroyo Seco Saints do get a base runner and move him all the way to second. However, they can't cash in on the first run of the ball game. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification every time we go live from the Compton Youth Academy. We'll stream all the home games here on this YouTube channel, so it just makes it a lot easier for you if you can subscribe. And you'll get that notification every time we go live. All home games from Tuesday to Friday, or Tuesday to Saturday, are at 6:05 p.m. However, Sunday games will take place, or first pitch is scheduled at 1:05. The Barons will be on the road tomorrow, but return back home on Tuesday as they take on the San Diego Bombers for the first time in 2026. But let's get you the starting lineups for the Academy Barons as we head into the bottom of the first. Leading things off is left fielder Chip Mertz. Batting second is their shortstop Elijah Clayton. Nathaniel Williams bats third, followed by first baseman Jason Del Villar. Nigel Buckley is in the 5 spot and is the DH tonight. Antonio Lujan bats 6, while Kai Nagashima bats 7th. In the 8th spot is catcher Carlos Morales. And rounding out the order for manager James Bishop is Jackson Tyler. That's the lineup today for James Bishop. He's in his first season as the manager of the Academy Barons, but he's no stranger to the Academy. He started working here when the Academy opened up in 2006, and he's been an assistant for the Barons for now 17 seasons. This is 18th year total with the Barons, first as a manager. Let's get you the defense for the Arroyo Seco Saints. In the outfield from left to right, Carson Panarisi, Blake Mitchell, and Cannon King. Bryce Robinette is at third base. Dylan Immel is at short. At second, it's Jacob Freer, and Sean Asperger is at first. Camden Andrews is behind the plate. And Joe O'Regan is the starter on the mound. Tall left-hander. Goes from the windup, and the first pitch to Mertz is in for strike 1. O'Regan is going to be a senior this upcoming season. Delivers the next pitch outside. He's a native to Upland. Spent 2 seasons at Chaffey Community College before transferring to Cal State Bakersfield. Mertz fouls off the next pitch. A lot of JUCO players on both sides. Either ex-JUCO players or players currently at a community college. Mertz at Mount Sac, just finished his freshman season. One of the younger players on the roster. Reagan shakes off a few pitches from his catcher. Finally gives the nod. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Tries to go front door with the curveball. Mertz ducks out of the way, and luckily for him, it's ball 2. Good action, just not enough snap. O'Regan's next pitch. Mertz stays alive with the foul ball. Yesterday, Mertz batted in the 2 spot, went 0 for 4 at the plate. Did make a couple nice plays in left field. Another 2-2 count. High and inside. That curveball. One more time from O'Regan. Back to work quickly. Mertz puts one up the middle, and it gets into center field. A leadoff base runner for the Academy Barons. In the home half of the first inning, they look to strike first. So both teams get a leadoff base runner. The Arroyo Seco Saints stranded their runner at second base. We'll see what the Barons do. And we'll see if Mertz is aggressive on the base pass with the lefty on the mound. Mertz did steal 6 bases during the spring season with Mount Sac. Elijah Clayton steps in for his first at-bat. Down and in. Clayton is another player in the transfer portal. Spent this past season at Campbell University. Spent his first year of college at Cal Berkeley. Below the knees for ball 2. The Barons had 2 doubles last night. Clayton had 1 of them. Played in 46 games last year for the Campbell University Camels. Take strike 1. And in those 46 games, he finished with a .256 batting average, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. Stole 19 bases. Further inside, that's ball 3. Clayton, a native to Thousand Oaks, gets the start at shortstop. Back-to-back nights for him. O'Regan's next pitch. Clayton pulls it past. No, the diving third baseman makes the stop. Throw to first, gets away. It gets away from Asperger. Mertz advances to third base. Would have been a phenomenal play by Robinette. However, there's 2 runners in scoring position now.
For the Barons, second baseman, number 8, Nathaniel Williams.
So it's an infield single for Elijah Clayton, but an advancement on the air. Mertz is at third base. Clayton's at second. Infield stays back for the Saints. And Nathaniel Williams steps in. First time. On the first pitch, slaps it foul. Now Williams played this past season for Santa Ana College, and one thing to make note of, he was a switch hitter, listed as a switch hitter, and you're seeing him switch hit here. But during the season, when he faced left-handers, he stayed hitting from the left side because he likes the power from that side of the plate. He's behind on another fastball. Down in the count, 0-2. I did get the chance to talk with him after a game for Santa Ana College this spring. He did say at the next level and in summer ball, he would hit from the right side. But during the season, he was hot from the left side and continued to bat that way. Puts us on the ground for the second baseman, Freer. That'll score the first run of the ball game. There's 1 out of the inning. An RBI ground out for Williams. He has 3 RBIs on the season. Picked up 2 last night. The Barons have their first lead of the Saturday ball game. Another runner 90 feet away. Jason Del Villar, who cracked his first home run last night of the 2026 campaign. He finished with 3 home runs last summer. Put up some monster numbers at Cal State Monterey Bay in the spring season. First pitch strike on the curveball from O'Regan. We'll see how he bounces back after surrendering the first run. Another breaking ball. O'Regan went inside on the first curveball. On the second curveball, puts it outside. Nice command of the zone. Del Villar steps back in. Down on the count 0-2. Del Villar, check swing. Slow dribbler to the first baseman. Tosses it to his pitcher covering. It scores another run. Because the infield was back for the Arroyo Seco Saints, the Barons have a 2-0 lead. The bases are empty. Another RBI ground out. Score at 3-1 on the putout. Those can be tricky, but Asperger controlled it nicely. First pitch to Nigel Buckley. Fouls it off the catcher, Camden Andrews. Buckley got the start behind the dish in last night's contest. Just finished his sophomore season at Cal State Dominguez Hills. He went 1 for 4 at the plate yesterday, and he had an RBI infield single yesterday. He skies the next pitch into the air. It won't leave the infield. Over in foul territory for Bryce Robernette, and that's the third out. But the Barons pick up their first 2 runs of the ball game, and they have an early 2-0 lead over the Arroyo Seco Saints. My name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. When we come back, the top of the second inning and the player interview here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, top of the second inning. Carson Panarisi to lead things off for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Jared Galang back on the mound for the Academy Barons. First pitch, foul ball, straight back. My name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you can join us on this Saturday evening. First meeting between these two teams, both in the California Collegiate League South Division. Next pitch, driven out to center field. Straight back is Jackson Tyler. Comes back in a few steps, and that's the first out of the top of the second inning. Next batter due up is the second baseman, Jacob Freer. So it's an 0-1 count after a swing and miss from Jacob Freer. And here on the broadcast, we're joined by one of the Barons players in the 2026 season, Eiji Sawamura. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Next pitch from Galang is outside for ball 1. So you're a native to Matsuyama, Japan.
Yes, sir.
First question I want to ask you is, what is baseball like in Japan where you're from?
So I started baseball when I was like 3 years old because my brother, he was playing baseball, you know, because he's older than me basically. And then I don't know, high school baseball is kind of like army stuff, you know. Wake up 6 in the morning every day, do the, you know, running and stuff, split in 2 hours, and then play like 12 hours of practice, something like that. And then, you know, 24/7, you got to think about it, baseball. So, and after I graduated high school, I'm like, you know what, I just want to play baseball in America. So I just, you know, decided to come here and then play baseball, enjoy it.
So how does that process work? You're a native in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there college baseball out there, or why did you decide to reach out to a college in the United States?
After I graduated high school, my buddy, he was actually playing in a JUCO in Texas. He texted me, goes like, "Hey Reggie, if you want to play in baseball in America, hit me up. I can give you a spot." And I'm like, low key, you know, it's kind of fire, so I might do it. And then I just, you know, started talking to JUCO head coach in Texas, and then yeah.
Odessa, Texas.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of culture shock. First of all, like you know, practice was like 3 hours, 2 hours, and I'm like, shoot, you know, we don't even do anything.
Yeah.
But like, you know, people's like, I'm done my work today. I finished my job, so I'm like, you know, people's chilling, you know, start eating. People sometimes go in the gym work, so I'm going with them, you know, trying to body make. But yeah, a lot of culture shocks too, and the food-wise was pretty, you know, different, dude. But Odessa, which is like East Texas, has a lot of Mexican food. Was, you know, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good food out there. So, yeah, I like it.
There's 2 outs in the top of the second after Jacob Freer goes down via the strikeout. Next batter due up is the catcher Camden Andrews. Again, we're here with Eiji Sawamura. So you go play 2 seasons at Odessa College, then transfer to Eastern New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest jump from the junior college level to the next level?
So, I think the biggest difference was like how bad you want it. Because like JUCO for 2 years was like, you know, just hit the ball, you know, and then win the game. But like I went at D2, and then we just started, you know, people don't like to hit the ball, you know, inside pitch. He likes it, or maybe he's just swinging a lot with a lot of, you know, change up and some. So like people started like taking notes, you know what I mean? So like my first like half season was kind of struggle with the, you know, taking note stuff. But like after that, I was nuke.
Rocket to right center. Antonio Lujan cuts it off and limits Andrews to just a single, but continue.
That's what I forgot was the thing. What was the question was?
Well, just asking what was the biggest jump?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said there's more scouting, right, at the Division II level?
A lot, yeah. Then playing summer ball, you know, came back like a JUCO, you know, hit the ball and have fun.
Yeah.
I really like it here. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is your first time in California.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest difference you've noticed from Texas and New Mexico to California?
What's the difference? I mean, the weather's totally different, you know.
Yeah,
New Mexico and in the east, I was, you know, in East Texas, which is middle of like nowhere. So, but yeah, weather's cool, and then a lot of Asian food here, huh? I really like it. I already went to sushi restaurant, was pretty good, and then yeah, we have a lot of Korean foods around here too, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. The food's better here.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. Yeah, still likes the Mexican food though.
Is there something, though, that we don't have here that you could find in your home country of Japan? As this one does graze the batter. So Andrews goes to second base. Juan Pablo Monzo is at first after the hit by pitch. I'm going to bring up Blake Mitchell. But the next question is, what's something you wish you could bring from Japan that we don't have here?
Definitely soba udon for sure, which is like a noodle.
Okay.
Because I'm big fan of a noodle guy, so I love to eat noodles. You know, if I go to Panda Express, I'm always get chow mein, you know, and then a lot. So yeah, for sure. And then I would say a lot of baseball, like a stuff, like a batting gloves and the cleats and stuff. You know, it's kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people like Mizuno, so trying to bring a lot. And then actually, my family is coming in a month, so I hope they're gonna bring a lot of baseball stuff.
I noticed too, right? Mizuno and Asics are both a little bit more popular. And I see always, Japanese player wearing cleats, but we don't have those type of cleats here in the States. First pitch, strike 2, Blake Mitchell. Jared Galang still on the mound for the Academy Barons. It's the top of the second inning, and we're joined by Eiji Sawamura. Now, right now, the country of Japan can root for a lot of players in the MLB, players like Otani, but there's a lot of players, as there's a throw down to third, it gets away into left field, and that'll plate the first run for the Saints. Throwing error by Carlos Morales. Andrews comes in to score, Juan Pablo Manzo to second. But yeah, the question I had for you is, who are some players that you rooted for growing up before the Otanis, before the other players in the league that we know now?
That's a hard question, actually. I would say Akiyama, which is an NPB player. He's like kind of Ichiro style, a lot of hit the base hit, steal. Kind of 5-tool player. That's what I like. And then now I'm going for Padres, actually. So I like Tatis Jr. And then, he's a perfect 5-tool guy, He can do everything he's want. So that's my dream, playing with a 5-tool. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? Who's your favorite player?
Real quick, there is 3 outs in the inning after a ground out to Nathaniel Williams. So the Arroyo Seco Saints do get their first run of the ball game. They trail 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. We're joined by Eiji Sawamura. My favorite player, I would have to, is going to be a deep cut, but Eric Burns. You should look him up. He was a player that had a few good years with the Oakland A's and then the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, yeah.
Wasn't a superstar, but he hustled.
Okay.
And I was never a great player, but I would hustle, dive for catches. He was an outfielder. Yeah. Every time he would throw, I feel like he started it. He would throw and then throw himself on the body and roll.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because he would put everything he had into his arm.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite players growing up.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and you said you're going for D-backs, huh?
The D-backs, yeah, that's my team.
That's cool.
So kind of random, especially here in Los Angeles. Right on. So last night you batted leadoff. I wanted to ask you, what is one of the hardest things or an adjustment you have to make when you're batting leadoff?
So it was like after my season, right? And then take a break for like a month. So I just want to see the ball, And then trying to just stay in inside baseball. And I'm not home run hitter, I'm not like Shohei. So I'm just trying to hit the line drive to the shortstop, and then trying to steal. And then I stolen bases 3 times last night, which is cool. And then Bish likes that I hustle a lot. So, yeah, I'm just, sacrifice for my team and have fun. Okay.
First pitch.
How about Antonio?
First pitch from Joe Reagan. Hits Antonio Lujan. The Barons have another leadoff base runner. Kai Nagashima will make his way to the plate, and Carlos Morales to follow. I noticed, too, that the Academy Barons have Taishi Nakawake as an assistant coach this year. You guys are speaking Japanese on Monday during the scrimmage.
All the time.
What's that like to have a assistant coach on staff that you're able to speak the home language with?
It's pretty awesome, man, because, I haven't talked in Japanese for 3 years. Since, when I was in Texas, no one's know Japanese, even New Mexico. And I came here and moved to here, and then I hear a lot of people speaking Japanese here, and especially Coach Taishi, he's the coolest guy. He went AAA and then White Sox, which is so cool. And then he teach me a lot of baseball skills still, and then, which is awesome. And then, I really like to, conversation with the Japanese with him because, that's the only guy he can, fully speak in Japanese with me. So, I'm enjoying it with them all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you watch anime?
I do.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite one?
One Piece. I would say One Piece is my favorite anime. What about you?
I'm not a big anime person, but my favorite is Pokemon.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of basic.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with them, with the Pikachu and stuff. Yeah.
Charizard.
There you go.
It's a 1-2 count to Kai Nagashima. Antonio Lujan's at first base. We're in the bottom of the second. Nobody out. We're joined by Eiji Sawamura. Reagan pitches from the stretch. Nagashima fouls another one off. Now, you mentioned that you had sushi here before. Have you had ramen already when you're living in Los Angeles?
Okay. No, I haven't.
You're going to have to get back to us and see if it compares to the ramen back in Japan.
And then a lot of people said that the ramen is pretty good here, too. So I definitely, it's on my list right now.
Yeah. That's one of the cool things about Southern California. There's such a diverse group of people from all parts of the world. So I feel like you can get a lot of good food within like
100%.
a 30-minute drive. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Nagashima. Is there anything specific you're looking to work on during this summer season before you find a new home next year?
I don't think so. I'm just, play baseball, have fun with my boys, But yeah, for sure, I needed money,
To strike out for the first out of the inning. Lujan stays at first. Let's talk about how you ended up playing here for the Academy Barons. You just randomly reached out, or who did you know that was out here?
my friends was play with the Bishop when he was little kid at the Academy, and then he was I told him hey, is there any chance of playing summer ball in California? And then he goes, I'm gonna give you the Bishop's number, and then text him, and then now I'm here. That was cool.
It's a 1-0 count to Carlos Morales. Slow chopper back to the pitcher O'Regan. Throw to second for 1. Furious throw to first in time. It's a double play. 1-4-3 is how we scored in the book, and that'll be all our time with Eiji Sawamura. But I'm really grateful that you made the time out here to come out. And do you have any? Well, real quick, favorite thing to eat back in Texas, because you mentioned there was a lot of good food. I do like to ask a food question before we go.
Texas barbecue. Texas barbecue was good.
Ribs, or what would you
ribs,
get?
I got everything, actually.
Yeah?
But yeah, the ribs wasn't one of the favorite for sure. It was good.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay in Southern California.
I will.
Good luck this summer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's Eiji Sawamura. When we come back, we'll have the top of the 3rd inning. Barons lead 2-1. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, top of the 3rd inning, and it's the top of the order due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Barons will have a new pitcher on the mound. Gabriel Lopez comes in. He's a left-hander, native to La Puente and went to Arcadia High School, but he spent this past year with Cal State Dominguez Hills. He only made 1 appearance, pitched 2/3 of an inning. And so Lopez is the new pitcher, comes in relief of Jared Galang. Again, this is very typical for the opening week here in the California Collegiate League. All the pitchers get acclimated. Pitching coaches like to see all of their arms, then put them in roles in the second week of the season, and we'll see starters go on longer in their outings. First pitch strike from Lopez. Next pitch is fouled off by Immel. Immel drew a walk, stole second, and was stranded at second to end the inning. That was in the top of the first. We just had Eiji Sawamura, one of the new players here for the Academy Barons in the summer season. We had him on the air, and that's something that will feature throughout the season. Another foul ball. Immel stays alive as it goes into the Barons bullpen. Some games will have 2, maybe even 3 interviews, depending on the availability of certain players, but it gives you a chance, the listeners at home, to get to know these players more on a personal level. Lopez has an 0-2 count. Kicks, deals, delivers one off the plate. No other substitutions for the Academy Barons. More clouds roll into the sky here in the city of Compton. Temperatures at 70 degrees. Wasn't as warm as it was yesterday. Yesterday's high went to 78. Today's high 74. A chance for Nagashima. It kicks off the heel of his glove. There's a runner aboard. It's going to be a tough play. We'll see how they rule that. Lopez's first pitch to Bryce Robinette. Downstairs. It's a second error by the Barons defense this evening. The first came on a throw by Carlos Morales. Next pitch is pulled foul. Robinette made good contact. However, fouled by a few feet. Immel was on first base in the first inning, and against the right-hander Jared Galang, it was very chaotic over there. Galang stepped off a few times. Carlos Morales threw down to Del Villar a few times. But Immel, with the left-hander on the mound, much more patient. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Robinette. Barons lead 2-1. Immel represents the tying run at first base. Not much of a breeze today in the city of Compton. Driven well down the left field line. Mertz has a long run. Now drifting into foul territory and makes the grab before he smacks into the wall. Strong concentration by the outfielder. First out of the inning. Immel stays at first. Morales has a quick conversation with Lopez. Maybe expected a different pitch on that last one. It's a quick conversation. Sean Asperger steps in. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Can't connect on the first pitch. Oh, 1 the count to the first baseman. Bigger lead for Immel at first. Lopez kicks, deals. A foul ball to the right side. No balls and 2 strikes the count. We do have the final line for Jared Galang. Goes 2 innings. Threw 37 pitches. Gave up 1 hit, 1 unearned run. Struck out 3 batters and did issue 1 walk. He gives way to Gabriel Lopez in the top of the third. The 0-2. Curveball just misses the zone. Strong discipline by Asperger. The first baseman spent the last 2 seasons at Santa Barbara City College as he looks for a new home. Runner takes off for second. Ball hit into shallow right center field. Immel makes his way to third base. And there's runners at the corners with 1 out. In the top of the 3rd inning, trouble for the Barons and Gabriel Lopez.
To the Saints, number 5, Cannon K.
Another left-handed hitter as Cannon King steps in. Runners at the corners. Third baseman Kai Nagashima plays at the edge of the grass. Del Villar holds the runner at first. With 1 out, the middle infield can play in double play depth. Ball hits softly into right center field. Lujan can't get to it. That'll plate the 2nd run, and we're tied in the top of the 3rd. An RBI single for Cannon King makes it 2-2. Asperger is at second. King is at first after the RBI single. Chance for the 5-hitter, Cannon Panarisi. The right-hander steps in. He flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Lopez looks the runner back at second, and the first pitch is off the plate. Lopez set. The 1-0 pitch, foul ball to the right side. Panarisi spent this past season at Cal State LA, and he's been there for 3 years. His last year, his most productive in the season that he's played the most in. Appeared in 41 ball games this year. Fouls off the next pitch, and the count moves to 1-2. In 41 games, Panarisi finished with a .331 batting average. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 28 RBIs. Played in 72 games in his career. The next pitch from Lopez on the ground, just past the pitcher's glove, a chance for 2. Clayton steps on the bag for 1 and fires over to first in time. 6-3 for a double play, and that gets the Barons out of the jam. But not before the Arroyo Seco Saints push across their 2nd run, and we're tied up 2 apiece here at the Academy Barons YouTube channel. It's a 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the third inning. Due up for the Academy Barons is Jackson Tyler, Chip Mertz, and Elijah Clayton, the 9-1-2 hitters. Joe O'Regan returns to the mound for the Arroyo Seco Saints. He gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the first, but was pretty efficient and got a huge double play. He started the churn on a 1-4-3 double play to get them out of the bottom of the second. Both teams in their blue uniforms. The Barons are in their white bottoms. The Arroyo Seco Saints in their gray bottoms. Saints led by manager Aaron Milam. Barons led by James Bishop. First pitch strike from O'Regan to Jackson Tyler, his first at-bat of the summer. He gets a start in center field, takes a healthy hack, and comes up empty, down in the count 0-2. Tyler is a native to Simi Valley, California. Went to Chaminade Prep before playing 1 season at San Diego State. A play at third for Bryce Robinette. He backs up 1 step and makes a beautiful twirling play over to first. Not an easy play by any means, but Robinette made it look routine. Tyler can certainly run down the first base line, but the center fielder is retired. Back to the top of the order for the Barons. Mertz, who singled and came around to score the first run of the ball game, takes strike 1. O'Regan's only at 35 pitches, and if you look at the different approaches from both these teams, the Mertz fouls the next pitch off to the right side. It's an 0-2 count to Mertz. The lefty steps back in, slaps it into left center field, and that gets down. Mertz starts the day 2 for 2, 2 singles. He's aboard at first. But to finish the thought, yesterday the Arroyo Seco Saints let their starter, Zachary Bender, go 2 innings. So a bit surprised to see O'Regan come out for a third. However, the Saints roster much smaller at this point in the season. They don't have that much depth. Still early on. The teams are still allowed to add players until July 17th. Runner on first, 1 out for Elijah Clayton. Mitz takes off on the first pitch. Throw to second, not in time. It gets into center. Mertz stays put. Stolen base for Mertz, a 1-0 count. Check that, 0-1, says the home plate umpire. Clayton has a runner in scoring position. Checks his swing, appealed down to the umpire, and he says to strike 2. Those are tough ones for that umpire who transitions closer to second base, so not the best of angles, but they'll have to make do with only 3 umpires at this level. O'Regan gets the sign, kicks, deals. Clayton, hits this into right field. A chance for Cannon King. Mertz tags up and heads for third. Throw cut off, relay not in time. A runner 90 feet away, so it's a productive out for Elijah Clayton. 2 outs in the inning for Nathaniel Williams.
Number 8, Nathaniel Williams.
Williams hits from the right side with another lefty on the mound. First pitch outside off the plate. Williams has 3 RBIs already on the summer season. Leads the team in that category. Chases one downstairs. Very unlike him. Many lefties at the community college level. Tries one into right field, but he gets underneath it. No problem for King. Strolls over to his right. Mertz is stranded at third to end the inning. The Barons are still tied at 2 with the Arroyo Seco Saints. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification every time we go live from the Compton Youth Academy. We'll stream all the home games here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. When we come back, we'll have the top of the 4th inning, and Jacob Freer set to lead things off. He'll take on Gabriel Lopez, who returns for a 2nd inning of work for the Academy Barons.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Kanoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer. Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jake Klinoski. I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the sack.
I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game. Or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably the best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
Due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the top of the 4th is the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Jacob Freer, Camden Andrews, and Juan Pablo Monzo. First pitch from Gabriel Lopez in for strike 1. Lopez is at 20 pitches after the first one. Next one, shallow into center field. Tyler comes in a few steps after going back. He records the first out of the inning. Barons are coming off a 5-1 victory over the Philippines baseball group yesterday. An impressive performance by the pitching staff. 6 different arms combined for 14 strikeouts. Good sight to see for Barons fans and all those in attendance and those watching the live stream. Now, Arroyo Seco Saints are coming off a 12-7 loss to the San Diego Waves. A game in which they out-hit the Waves 13-7. But their defense committed 5 errors, and that was a big reason for the loss. First pitch is upstairs to Camden Andrews. Came around to score on the error by Carlos Morales. High and away. Lopez falls behind 2-0. The Saints picked up 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. They have 2 runs off 3 hits, 1 error. The Barons picked up both of their runs in the 1st inning. 2 runs off 3 hits and 2 errors. Pretty similar line for both teams thus far as we start the middle innings. Next pitch from Lopez, and that's 4 straight. 4 straight out of the zone, a base on balls for Camden Andrews. Reaches for the 2nd time today.
To the Saints, number 32, Juan Pablo Monzo.
The designated hitter steps in. First pitch from Lopez is north of the zone. 5th straight miss by the southpaw. Runner on first, 1 out, small lead. Monzo offers. Sends it foul. We apologize for the difficulty with the camera. It's frozen at the moment. We'll get that situated as soon as we can. Lopez goes from the stretch. 1-1 count. Foul tipped into the glove. Moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two-strike count. Monzo steps back in. Andrew stays at first. Lopez kicks, deals, misses down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the 4th inning. Another 2-strike pitch, and it's a swing and miss. Monzo retired, 2nd out of the inning. Beautiful bender from the lefty Gabriel Lopez.
To the Saints, number 6, Blake Mitchell.
Lopez 1 out away from stranding that runner at first base. Andrew as the catcher, not a strong threat to run. And Lopez gets another favorable lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch swing, Mitchell sends it foul down the first base line. We do have the camera up and running for you. Technology has advanced a long way, but it's by no means perfect. Milam at third base gives the signs to his runner. Saints do have 1 stolen base. That came in the 1st inning. Lopez's next pitch, just below the knees. Mitchell runs well. Spent the past 2 seasons at San Diego City College, but he's a native to Fairview, Texas. High chopper to the first baseman, Del Villar. He goes down to a knee and quickly scoots to first for the 3rd out of the inning. Score that 3 unassisted. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Jason Del Villar to lead things off when we come back after this break. Back here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. 2nd game of the 2026 season. Glad you can join us. Barons are led by first-year manager James Bishop. A couple new faces on the coaching staff as well. Jonathan Largaspada, a former player for the Academy Barons, helping out in the bullpen for Eiji Monterez, the pitching coach. And then Taishi Nakawake, a player who made it all the way to the AAA level in the majors during his playing career. He's a native to Southern California and played at El Camino before playing at UCI. He's also a part of the assistant coaching staff. Del Villar to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th inning. Barons are tied at 2 with the Arroyo Seco Saints. First meeting between the 2 teams, and Del Villar's first pitch sends it foul out of play. Joe Reagan back for a 4th inning of work. Gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. But since then, he's been a smooth operator on the mound. Did have a runner at third base in the third inning, but stranded Mertz as he got Nathaniel Williams to fly out to end the inning. Del Villar ropes one into deep center field. Mitchell all the way back, and this one hops over the wall. Fortunate bounce for the Saints as Del Villar was already at second. Could have had for third, but it's a ground rule double for Del Villar to lead things off. Del Villar certainly a player to keep an eye on this summer season. He had a breakout year in the summer last season. And then in the spring season, he continued that. He continued his hot bat at Cal State Monterey. He earned first team all-conference for the Otters. Finished with 66 RBIs, the second most in program history. Nigel Buckley steps in for his first at-bat. Another player who played last summer for the Barons, and that translated to his spring season, and where he hit .390 for the Toros. Finished with 50 RBIs. Offers and fouls it off to the third base side. 1-1 count to the designated hitter. Buckley is one of few players that trained here at the academy growing up. And what's cool about that type of opportunity is Buckley very familiar with coaches like James Bishop, Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, and many others because they help out with a lot of the youth teams over their development as well. This pitch bounces away from the catcher. Andrews plays it off the backstop. Del Villar is up at third base without a throw. First wild pitch of the evening. Buckley has a 2-1 count. Lujan's on deck. Buckley is a player that if you saw him last year after his freshman season and you saw him now, well, let's just say he spent a lot of time in the weight room. He certainly developed, looks a lot stronger. That's why he produced so much offensive power. Takes a healthy hack, sends it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Buckley just finished his sophomore season where he hit 11 doubles and 9 home runs. And first team all conference. Bloops this one into shallow right field. Cannon King in a few steps. Del Villar halfway down the line decides to retreat back to third. A strong throw from King turns Del Villar around. Buckley's retired.
Number 32, Antonio Lujan.
Still early enough where you want to play it safe in a situation like that. James Bishop, the third base coach, writes down something on his notepad, maybe taking note of King's arm in right field. Antonio Lujan, the next batter. Hit by a pitch on the first of the at-bat. And on this first pitch, he fouls one off to the third base side. Lujan in his second season for the Academy Barons. Got a medical red shirt this past spring after only playing in 3 games for Azusa Pacific before an injury cut his year short. The 0-1 from O'Regan, driven into left center field, and that gets down in front of Blake Mitchell. An RBI single for Lujan. That played Del Villar. And the Barons are back on top, 3-2 in the home half of the 4th inning. That's what you expect from a lot of the veterans coming back for their second or third season with the team. Guys like Del Villar, Lujan, Nathaniel Williams have continued to produce. It's only 2 games in, but those 3 have been the main producers for the Barons thus far. A chance for Kai Nagashima. Runner on first. He was a strikeout victim. And the only strikeout victim for O'Regan on the mound. Holds up on his swing. It's ball 1. Nagashima played this past season at El Camino College. Finished with a .322 batting average in 38 games. Downstairs, ball 2. O'Regan's at 52 pitches in his outing. No one throwing in the bullpen yet for the Arroyo Seco Saints. First strike of the at-bat. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to the third baseman. There's 16 pitchers on this roster for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They used 4 of them yesterday in their first game of the season, and the loss to the San Diego Waves. First move from O'Regan. Lujan beats the tag. Nagashima steps back in. Behind on the fastball. Count even at 2-2. Nagashima finished the season in the spring with 30 RBIs. Two, and Nagashima goes down looking. Fastball inner half.
Number 37, Carlos Morales.
Second out of the inning. A chance for Carlos Morales. Runner still at first. Carlos Morales had an interesting season and at the tail end became one of the more important players for the Santa Ana Dons and their offense down the stretch into the postseason and on their way to their championship. First pitch to the catcher lands on the inner half. But much of the season, I would say up until the halfway point, Carlos Morales would start 1 game a week and their other catcher, Trey Arita, would start the other 2 games. Morales can't connect on the fastball. Down in the count 0-2. But an injury to Arita allowed Morales to play a little bit more, and his batting average kicked up all the way at one point to .370. And then he hit his first 2 home runs of the year in the 3rd round of the playoffs against Fullerton College. His batting average stayed above 300 the entire season, but he didn't hit for a lot of power. It was just a lot of contact. But at the tail end of the season, he showed you the power he has in his bat. Finished the year with 2 home runs. Morales backs up on the curveball inside. Count is even. Morales stays alive. Both Carlos Morales and Nathaniel Williams will continue playing baseball at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Both players transferring from Santa Ana College. They just won the state championship. Swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes. And 1 run does come in to score in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Barons do have a 3-2 lead, but a strong effort by Joe O'Regan on the mound to limit the damage. After the RBI single by Antonio Lujan, he set down the next 2 batters via the strikeout. Barons lead 3-2, top of the 5th when we come back, and it's the top of the order due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints. New pitcher on the mound for the Academy Barons in the top of the 5th inning. It's a right-hander by the name of Matthew Krause. He just spent his freshman season at El Camino College, native to Hermosa Beach, and went to Mira Costa High School, a very prominent high school program in that area of Los Angeles County. With El Camino College, he made 12 appearances, pitched 16 innings, and did pick up 2 saves. Didn't have any wins or losses, but he had 21 strikeouts to 12 walks in the 16 innings pitched. He gave up 17 runs, 11 which were earned. He'll face the top of the order against the Arroyo Seco Saints, 3rd time through the lineup, as we're here in the middle innings. Barons lead 3-2. They picked up their 3rd run in the bottom of the 4th. A lot of the veterans for the Barons have come through. Nathaniel Williams pushed across 2 runs yesterday, picked up the first RBI today. And in the bottom of the 4th inning, it was Antonio Lujan who delivered an RBI single to drive in Jason Del Villar, who led the inning off with a double. Carlos Morales quickly chats with the new pitcher, Matthew Krause. 3rd pitcher of the ball game for the Academy Barons. Jared Galang started the ball game, went 2 innings. Gabriel Lopez threw 2. In the top of the 5th, Krause takes over. Dylan Immel steps in, the shortstop for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And the first pitch is north of the letters. Immel has reached twice, drew a walk in the 1st inning, reached on an error in his last at-bat. The next pitch misses upstairs. Krause spent the 2025 season with UC Irvine, but he redshirted, did not appear in any games for the Anteaters. That pitch finds the outer half. Late break on the pitch from Krause. 2-1 the count to the shortstop. Krause works quickly, misses outside, ball 3. The 2 saves on the year for El Camino didn't lead the team, but Warriors trusted him late in games. Bounces back with another strike, and the count is full. Emil took a few steps towards first, thought it was ball 4. Payoff pitch. Sweeps across the zone and through the zone. However, it's ball 4. Maybe too much movement there. Immel's aboard for the 3rd time. And the last time he was aboard with the right-hander on the mound, he was very active on the base pass. The Barons will have to be very careful with him at first. He stole 2nd in the 1st inning. Bryce Robinette takes a long look down to his 3rd base coach, Aaron Milam. First pitch to him, punched into right field. Lujan back a few steps, and that's the first out of the inning. A lot of cloud cover in the sky, so the Barons on the right side of the field don't have to battle the sun, which we typically see at this point of the ball game. The lights are on here at the Academy. 1 out. Emil still at first. And the first baseman, Sean Asperger. Leans out of the way. Ball 1. Small lead at first. Ball bounces away from Morales. Immel heads to 2nd. Wild pitch for the right-hander. A runner in scoring position, and Immel has great speed for the Saints. Has scored 1 run already. First baseman steps back in. 2-0 count to Asperger. Downstairs, Morales uses the chest plate to keep this one at home plate. 3-0 count. Cannon King awaits on deck. That's the first strike of the at-bat as Kraus works from behind. Clayton keeps the runner at second close. The 3-1 pitch. That catches the zone. It's a full count. Big pitch here between Kraus and the first baseman Asperger. 1 out. Payoff pitch. That's below the knees, ball 4. Runners on first and second. At the very least, if you're the Barons, you have a play at any infield base. Second walk of the inning.
Number 5, Cannon King.
Brings up Cannon King. He drove in the run in the third inning, an RBI single. King picked up 3 hits yesterday in the loss to the San Diego Waves. First pitch, down and in for ball 1. The Saints lost yesterday by a score of 12-7, but they out-hit the San Diego Waves 13-7. He's committed 5 errors on the defensive end. That one lands on the inner half. One ball, one strike to the right fielder, King. Kraus kicks, deals, weakly hit to the third baseman, Nagashima. He stops it, can't grab it in time, nor can he tag the base. So the bases are full. It's going to be a tough play. He was shaded a few steps towards short with the lefty at the plate. 1 out. An infield single for Cannon King. Get on any way you can. And Carson Panarisi had the chance to hit with the bases loaded in the top of the 5th inning. His team trails by 1. On the first pitch, he fouls it straight back. Panarisi grounded into a double play in his last at-bat. Flew out to center field in second. Immel at third, Asperger at second, King at first. Slow dribbler past Clayton at short, and it gets into left field. Mertz comes up firing. Here comes the second runner. Throw goes to third, and that runner's out. So King caught going from first to third, scored that 7-5 to 6 for the second out of the inning, but it's an RBI single for Panarisi, and the Saints have their first lead of the ball game, 4-3. Two outs for Jacob Freer. Left-handed hitting second baseman is 0 for 2. Del Villar holds the runner at first. And the first pitch misses the spot. Two balls and no strikes to count. Small lead at first by Panarisi. That pitch runs inside. Kraus has already walked 2 batters in the inning. Camden Andrews awaits on deck. He's reached twice today. That one finds a zone. Kraus works from behind. 3 balls and 1 strike. While at Miracosa, Kraus was the team MVP twice, his junior and senior season. "3-1. Freer chases one upstairs. Lots of zip on the fastball. Kraus lives in the high 80s and can touch 90 on his fastball. Uses it there for the second strike. It's a full count, 2 outs. Expect the runner at first to move on the pitch. Del Villar doesn't hold the runner. Kraus's payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Freer goes down via the strikeout, but 2 runs come in to score for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They have their first lead of the ball game, 4-3, as we head to the bottom of the 6th, bottom of the 5th. And Jackson Tyler set to lead things off when we come back.
What player on the Barons would make the best head coach? I think Jimmy for sure.
Jimmy Welsher. He has all the tools.
Yo, I got to go with Jimmy too. Welsh, he just knows ball. I think he'd be a good coach. I trust him with my kid in the future.
Going with the Tommy Gooden.
Give me Jacob Kanoski.
Trevor Schmidt. Easy answer. Jimmy Welsher, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jay Klinoski. I think the best head coach would be my boy right here, Hondo. From the side.
Nah, I think I'd have to give it to probably one of the youngsters, probably Campo or Chip. I feel like they would make it. Campo he's our catcher. He's been calling games all summer.
Best head coach. Honestly, Jimmy's probably a good pick. He's been in the game. Or Klinoski. He's been in the game a while, so that's probably the best option.
Easy answer. I choose myself.
Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. New pitcher in the ball game for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's a right-hander by the name of Brendan Mullen. And if you saw his warm-up pitches, you can see he has a different arm angle than we're typically used to seeing here. A right-hander. Throws a sidearm, not quite underneath the table, but we'll see how the Barons hitters adjust. He's set to take on the 9-1-2 hitters. He enters with the lead in the ball game. The Saints picked up 1 run in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in the top of the 5th. That's how they have a 4-3 lead here on this Saturday evening. The Barons picked up 2 in the first, 1 in the 4th. All 3 of those runs came against Joe O'Regan. He's done for the evening after 62 pitches. He lasts 4 innings. Jackson Tyler to lead things off and face the side armor. First pitch off the plate. Mullen is a native to Cincinnati, Ohio, and played this past 2 seasons at Wabash Valley College, a team that competes in the NJCAA. So it's a junior college, but they play teams out in the Midwest. Wabash Valley College is in Illinois. Comes a long ways away here to Southern California. That's north of the zone, and Tyler has himself a 3-0 count. He grounded out to third in his only at-bat, and it was a strong play by the third baseman, Bryce Robinette. We'll reset the defense for you in this half of the inning. 4 straight misses. Tyler's aboard. A speedster on the base pass for the Barons offense. Back to the top of the order, and let's get you that defense for the Saints. Camden Andrews still behind the plate. Sean Asperger At first, he holds the runner. Jacob Freer at second. Dylan Immel at short. And at third, Bryce Robinette. In the outfield from right to left, Cannon King, Blake Mitchell, and Carson Panarisi. Mertz lays down a drag bunt, right side. No problem for Mullen as he underhands it to his first baseman in time. Sacrifice bunt. Advances the runner to second. The Barons trail by 1 and elect to use small ball.
Number 29, Elijah Clayton.
Elijah Clayton steps in with the runner in scoring position. He's 1 for 2. Picked up a single and came around to score in the first inning. The first pitch from the side armor misses outside. Brendan Mullen just finished 2 years at the community college level. Looks for a new home during the summer with the Saints. The next pitch is fouled by Clayton to the right side. Clayton is the son of former big leaguer Royce Clayton, who played 17 years in the big leagues. Played for a lot of different teams. 11 different teams in his 17-year career. Swing and a miss by Elijah. He's down in the count 1-2. You can argue his best season came in 1997 when he made the All-Star team with the St. Louis Cardinals. The only time he made an All-Star team. 1-2 pitch to Elijah inside. Tyler at second, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Long look in from Mullen. Goes overhand on that pitch. This ball hit to short. Tyler heads for third, throw to first in time, and Asperger makes a nice stretch and keeps his foot on the bag. Surprised to see Tyler take off, but he got such a great jump that there was no play at third for the shortstop, Immel. A runner 90 feet away. The Barons did strand a runner at third in the 3rd inning. They're hoping to avoid that here in the home half of the 5th. Chance for Nathaniel Williams. That first pitch well off the plate. And we see Williams hit from the left side for the first time this evening. Crushed it from that side of the plate this season with Santa Ana College. Hit all 9 of his home runs from this side. That's off the plate for ball 2. Pretty interesting on that pitch that Clayton hit to short. Mullen threw overhand, a more traditional arm angle, so he doesn't always use the sidearm. There we see it again. Williams takes a big cut, comes up empty. It's a 2-0 count. You expect to see fastball. He saw it, just couldn't connect. Tyler's at third. Williams skies it into the air. Left field. Panarisi over to his left, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Barons get a leadoff runner and move him all the way to third base, but can't cash in. They trail 4-3 as we head to the top of the 6th inning here at the Compton Youth Academy. My name is Noah Alvarez, and when we come back, we'll see the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Saints after this. Top of the 6th inning. 7-8-9 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints, and there's a left-hander on the mound for the Academy Barons. The new pitcher is Ethan Matties. Matties is a native to Carson, California, and just spent his freshman year at Holy Cross. We'll get more into the numbers in just a sec, but the final lines for the previous 3 pitchers. Jared Galang started the ball game, went 2 innings, only gave up 1 hit and 1 unearned run. Pretty similar line for Gabriel Lopez. He goes 2 innings, give up 2 hits, 1 unearned run. And then Matthew Krause came in, only pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, also issued 2 walks. The Barons pitching staff has combined for 5 strikeouts. They had 14 as a team last night with 6 different arms. Camden Andrews to lead things off against the new left-hander. A lot of lefties at the disposal for the Academy Barons this summer. 10 on the roster. Krause is one of them. Sorry, Matties is one of them. A native to Carson and went to Los Alamitos High School. First pitch is smoked deep into left field, but Mertz at the track has enough time. And that's a loud first out. Andrews is retired. Matties, sure, a big sigh of relief. While at Holy Cross this past season, Matties pitched 5 innings, finished with a 5.06 ERA, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, gave up 5 hits. Batters hit .250 against him. So limited opportunity for the left-hander. And that's what these players come. Hope to get more work in during the summer season. Next pitch runs inside to the designated hitter, Juan Pablo Manzo. He's 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging in the 4th. A chilly evening here in the city of Compton. Lots of sweaters and blankets brought out by the Barons faithful. 2-1 after the foul ball. Monzo, a native to San Lorenzo, California, which is in the Bay Area. Spent 2 seasons at Chabot College. He takes ball 3. Appeared in 68 games, finished with a better batting average in his freshman season. He hit .312, hit .280 in his sophomore campaign. A 3-1 from Matties, finds the outer half. Outside of the 2 walks issued by Krause in the 5th inning, Barons only have 1 other walk that came in the 4th from Gabriel Lopez. But that's going to be another walk by a Barons pitcher. Runner on first, 1 out.
Number 6, Blake Mitchell.
Monzo at first. Mitchell hits from the left side. Favorable matchup for Matties. He pulls this into the right side, and it gets into right field. 1 out base knock, and there's 2 runners on for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 6th hit of the ball game for the Saints offense. Very prominent program here in the California Collegiate League, led by Aaron Milam, who's spent what feels like an eternity with this program. Does a lot for the Saints. Matties from the stretch. Jump move back to Clayton. Clayton wasn't near the bag, and Matties made an accurate throw right to him. That could have been dangerous, but heads up play by the pitcher. Saints lead by 1. Immel at the plate. First pitch is in the dirt. Time called by the home plate umpire. Immel readjusts the elbow guard. It's a quick time. Next pitch from Matties. Paints it. Outer half. That's strike one. If you look at last night's performance from the Barons pitchers, 14 strikeouts to 1 walk. Tonight thus far, 5 strikeouts to 5 walks. It's a big reason why the Saints have the lead. Foul ball, straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last year as a team, the Barons struggled with the base on balls. 185 walks issued. That was the second most in the California Collegiate League. The 1-2. A waste pitch. A few inches off the plate. Count even at 2-2 to Immel. Immel runs well out of the batter's box. Might be tough to double up the runners unless it's a hard hit ball to one of the infielders. Matty's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Immel off balance and he's retired. Second out of the inning.
Number 17, Bryce Robinette.
Runners stay put at first and second. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Robinette, who's 0 for 3 on the day, gets a chance to hit with runners in scoring position, or the 1 runner in scoring position. Monzo at second, Mitchell at first. That first pitch finds the outer half, strike 1. Robinette is a native to Parker, Colorado, and another player at Azusa Pacific that is now in the transfer portal. Came in as a pinch hitter yesterday and went 0 for 2 at the plate for the Saints. Matty steps off. Robinette yesterday played in center field. Today he gets the start at third and made a couple nice plays already. A strong utility player. Looking for a new home this summer. That's inside, nearly grazes Robinette. Robinette struck out in his first at-bat, flew out to left field in the 3rd inning, flew out to right in the 5th. That's at the letters, but it's ball 2. Two on the count to the third baseman. Matty's kicks, deals, foul ball straight back, evens the count. Sean Asperger, the batter on deck. In the home half of the 6th inning, we'll see the Barons send up their 4, 5, 6 hitters, Del Villar, Buckley, and Lujan. A lot of experience between those 3. The 2-2 pitch. Robinette stays alive, foul ball, out of play. Home plate umpire asked for more baseballs. Another 2-2 pitch from Matties. High and wide. It runs the count full. Don't want to load the bases here. Saints are hoping to avoid their 2nd loss in as many days to start off the season. Expect both runners to move on the pitch. Matty's payoff pitch. Just below the knees. Tough spot. And the left-hander issues his second walk of the inning. Bases are full for the three-hitter, Sean Asperger. We haven't seen a mound visit thus far. Don't expect to. This might be the only inning Maddie's works. Lefty on lefty matchup. Maddie's pitches from the third base side of the rubber. First pitch, breaking ball. A beautiful one. Starts Asperger off with a strike. He drew a walk in the fifth inning, singled in the third, struck out looking in the first inning. Maddie's kicks, deals, it's in the dirt. Morales keeps it there. That can be tricky too in summer ball early on in the year. You don't know your pitcher's tendencies and how their balls typically bounce in the dirt after playing with one team all spring. Still in the early goings of summer ball, but a nice job by Morales. The 1-1. Foul tip out of the glove of the catcher. It's a 2-strike count, and we'll see if Maddie's has an out pitch. He had Robinette in a 2-2 count. Robinette fouled off a tough couple. Maddie's then threw back-to-back balls to issue a walk. We'll see what he does here. 1-2 count. That breaks through the zone and dips underneath. A good idea. Now with the 2-2 count, expect to see a strike here. Put something in the zone and force Asperger to make contact. The next pitch from Maddie's, that's on the edge. Strike 3, right on the paint. Asperger goes down via the strikeout for the second time today, and he strands the bases loaded in the top of the 6th inning. To the bottom of the 6th we go, and Jason Del Villar to lead things off for the Barons when we come back. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, we do have some scores from around the California Collegiate League. Earlier today, the Conejo Oaks defeated the Orange County Riptide 7-4. Both those teams compete in the Southern Division. The Santa Barbara Foresters defeated the Philippines Baseball Group 13-1. That game also went final. And those are the only two other games in Southern California. First pitch to Del Villar in the zone for strike 1. Brendan Mullen checks in. Second inning of work on the mound for the right-hander. Sometimes throws sidearm, sometimes he doesn't. Del Villar smokes one. Deep left field. Panarisi at the wall, and it's over the fence. His second home run of the year, and we're back tied 4-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Jason Del Villar, the second home run of the season.
He finished with 3 home runs last year in the summer season, and he's already 1 away from that total. 2 in 2 games. What a start for Del Villar. 2 extra base hits as well, and his second RBI. He picked up an RBI ground out in the first inning. We're tied up at 4. Nigel Buckley takes ball 1. Third base umpire tells Lujan to scoot more towards the dugout. He's the batter on deck. Buckley has a 2-0 count. We've yet to see Buckley really square into one this summer. Drives this one up the middle. Hot off the bat. And that's a single following the home run. A base runner for the Barons in the home half of the 6th. Because Buckley's a DH, it poses the question, could we see a pinch runner maybe in a tie ball game? Antonio Lujan will hit from the left side with the righty on the mound. 2 switch hitters in the lineup. Both Nathaniel Williams and Lujan capable of hitting from both sides. Buckley's at first. And the first pitch is high and wide. Mullen was sharp in the 5th inning. He walked the first batter he faced, but then picked up a sacrifice bunt, a ground out, and a fly out to end the inning. He stranded the runner at third. That's off the plate for ball 2. But on the second pitch of this inning, he gives up the solo shot to Del Villar and a single right up the middle. Hard hit ball from Buckley. No one warming up in the bullpen yet for the Saints, but time is called by the catcher Camden Andrews. It's a 2-0 count. This could be an opportunity for Milam and the Saints coaching staff to send someone down to the bullpen and start warming up. Mullen's the second pitcher of the evening. Joe O'Regan started the ball game and lasted 4 innings. Looks like we have a pinch hitter on deck for the Academy Barons. Caden Durazo, who we haven't seen yet this season, will pinch hit for Kai Nagashima, barring anything last minute. Mound visit over. Andrews back behind the dish. Asperger holds Buckley at first. The 2-0, Lujan fouls it off. Lujan had a really strong season his freshman year at Azusa Pacific. Finished with 10 home runs, 3 doubles, and 1 triple, 42 RBIs, a .284 batting average in 44 games. Leans out of the way for ball 3. In the summer last year, he finished with a .287 batting average, 11 walks to 11 strikeouts. Very selective at the plate. That's ball 4. Runners on first and second. Nobody out for the Barons in the home half of the 6th. Hitting in place of Kai Nagashima as an infielder by Caden Durazo. Just finished his freshman season at the College of the Desert. Another native to Yucaipa, so a couple players from Yucaipa on the roster. Squares around a bunt, puts it down right in front of the catcher. Andrews grabs it bare hand. A successful sacrifice bunt. 2 runners in scoring position for the Barons, 1 out. Durazo comes in and does a job. We'll see if Durazo stays in the game and plays third. The infield comes in for the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch to Morales. Weakly hit. Foul on the right side and out of play. Buckley at third, Lujan at second. In the spring, Morales finished with 22 RBIs, 4 doubles and 2 home runs. With the infield in, a lot of space out there for a bloop single. This runs in and hits him. The bases are full. More trouble for Mullen on the mound. The Saints run a catcher to the bullpen, and sure we'll see someone start throwing in only a matter of time. Chance of the 9-hitter, Jackson Tyler. He drew a walk in his last at-bat. Grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Chance for him to pick up his first RBI of the summer campaign. First one misses outside. First fireworks of the season. Bases full, 1 out, home half of the 6th. Tyler takes a healthy cut, can't connect. Count even at 1-1. While at Chaminade Prep, Tyler played both football and baseball in high school. He was a running back and a cornerback. Finished with almost 200 rushing yards in his senior season. 2-1 count. That's above the letters for ball 3. Spent this past spring as a redshirt at San Diego State. Both him and Mark Emmerman are from San Diego State, and both are in the transfer portal. He gets the green light. Comes up empty. The count is full. Chip Mertz is the batter on deck. Big spot for the Barons and the Saints. Tyler smokes one deep center field. Mitchell all the way back. Kemp's underneath. That'll be deep enough to score Buckley. Lujan tags to third. And the Barons have a lead, 5-4, thanks to the RBI sac fly from Jackson Tyler. That's a type of hit, too, that if we were playing with aluminum bats, good chance that one either leaves the yard or hits off the fence. Tyler didn't miss that ball by much. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Another chance for Mertz. He dropped a sacrifice bunt in his last plate appearance. Barons lead 5-4. The first pitch misses outside. Mertz fouls off the next pitch to the riverbed. Barons have 5 runs off 7 hits. Saints have 4 runs off 6 hits. The next pitch from Mullen. Outside for ball 2. Mertz had 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats. Finished with a .368 batting average this spring with Mount Sac. That's high and wide for ball 3. If you follow community college baseball, you know that Mount Sac won not this spring, but 2 springs ago in 2025. And that's ball 4. Mertz is at first base after the walk. The bases are full again for Elijah Clayton. Milam calls time. Time is called. Milam makes his way from the dugout. The right-hander in the bullpen is number 50, Angel Escobar, and we could see him enter the game as early as a couple of moments. The Barons are 1-0 to start the season. They finished yesterday with a 5-1 victory over the Philippines baseball group, while the Saints lost yesterday to the San Diego Waves by a score of 12-7. Escobar is not throwing any longer, while Milam chats with the entire infield for the Saints. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons YouTube, or Academy Barons Baseball here on the YouTube channel. Milam allows Mullen to stay in the ball game. Maybe he likes the matchup with Elijah Clayton. Escobar, who's warming up in the bullpen, is a right-hander, and Nathaniel Williams is a switch hitter on deck. Might be a numbers thing or something that Milam saw in a previous at-bat with Clayton. It's a big spot for the shortstop. 1 for 3 today. First pitch from Mullen. At the letters, strike one. Lujan is at third base. Morales at second. Mertz at first. 2 hits thus far in the inning. 2 walks, a hit batter, and a sacrifice fly. That's strike 2. So after the mound visit, Mullen looks focused, determined to get this final out of the inning. Clayton takes his time, steps back in. The 0-2, and Clayton foul tips it into the glove. Big pitch for the Saints, but the Barons do strike back in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 5-4 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. When we come back, we'll get you the upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons as we relay that information to you. And we'll have the top of the 7th inning after a quick break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, on the upcoming schedule for your Barons. Tomorrow they take on the Conejo Oaks on the road, and they play at Ventura College this summer season after spending the last few years at Cal Lutheran University. Then they get Monday off. Tuesday they return back home to the Academy. They'll take on the San Diego Bombers for the first time this summer before hosting the Philippines baseball group again on Wednesday, June 10th. So those are the next 3 games for the Barons. On Friday the 12th and Saturday the 13th, they're on the road. But on Sunday the 14th, we have our first Sunday home game of the year as they take on the Orange County Riptide. First pitch from Ethan Matties to Cannon King is downstairs. So that's the upcoming schedule for the next week of action. Top of the 7th, Barons lead 5-4. It's been a back-and-forth game. King takes strike 1 of the at-bat. Matties used 27 pitches to get out of the 6th inning. The bases were loaded, but Matties picked up 2 strikeouts at the end of the inning. Left-hander from Holy Cross. Good spot. But it's ball 2. Nobody out, nobody on base for King. Picked up a single in his last at-bat. He's 2 for 3 tonight. It's ball 3. No one throwing in the Barons bullpen, but a couple guys getting loose and stretching. That misses downstairs. Matties walks the leadoff batter. King was caught stealing last night, and James Bishop, manager for the Barons, calls time. First mound visit we've seen from Bishop on the season. Bishop has spent 17 seasons as an assistant coach with the Barons. His first year as the manager. James Bishop is a native to Linwood. Spent 12 seasons in the minor leagues. Also played a couple seasons overseas before coming back home. He's been a part of the academy since it opened in 2006. And that's what we talked about earlier, how a lot of these players like Nigel Buckley, Isaac Ocampo, Chip Mertz, and others played here at the academy growing up. Bishop's had a chance to catch or coach a lot of those players as they were growing up through the academy. So it comes full circle now that these players are in college, looking for a place to play summer ball, and they can play for their former coach here with the Barons this summer. Carson Panarisi steps in, runner on first, nobody out. Matties kicks, deals, delivers, ball 1. Panarisi, 1 for 3 on the evening. Got a 2 RBI single in his last plate appearance. Foul ball straight back. Panarisi from Cal State LA, native to Los Angeles. Although it's always interesting when players or people put Los Angeles as their hometown, because it's like, what part of Los Angeles? As he sends the next pitch foul. Someone can say Los Angeles, and that can mean so many different things in so many different areas. One of the bigger cities in the entire country, and probably one of the world. 1-2 count. Well off the plate. Morales lunges to keep that one there. Matties takes a walk around the mound before he steps back on the rubber. 2-2. Runner takes off for second. High chopper for the new third baseman, Durazo. On the run, Del Villar keeps his foot on the bag. What a pick. An incredible play by the third baseman, Durazo, an even better play on the receiving end. Del Villar shows off the glove. The runner does advance to second. A runner in scoring position with 1 out. That could have been a lot worse. It's a deep roster for the Barons this summer. 46 players total. Durazo brought off the bench to pinch hit for Nagashima. Already making some noise. Freer steps in. Lefty on lefty matchup. Could be why Matty stayed in the ballgame. Throw back to Clayton. No tag as it quickly pops out of his glove, but not very far. Freer is 0 for 3. Second baseman. Another player from Azusa Pacific looking for a new home. That one's on the corner. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. Before the ball game, Antonio Lujan, who also was at Azusa Pacific the last 2 years, had a long conversation with Bryce Robinette, along with Jacob Freer. Former teammates now playing against each other in the summer ball. And that's strike 2. Freer was named second team all-conference after hitting .344 this spring season. 12 doubles and 8 home runs to go along with 47 RBIs. Jammed him, but it gets into center field. Tyler comes up charging. Throw. Offline. It goes to Carlos Morales. The throw to second in time. What a play by the catcher. It does plate the 5th run of the ball game for the Saints. We're tied up again, but Freer out, trying to extend it to a double. Score that 8-2. So for the second out, score that 8-2-6. It could have been a bad play as Tyler came up firing from center field. Del Villar was the cutoff man, and it was off target of Del Villar, but Morales able to get to it quickly, fired a strong throw to second, and Freer is retired. The bases are empty, and we'll see a new pitcher for the Academy Barons with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Elias Valdez is the new pitcher, and we'll tell you a little bit more about him when we come back. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Top of the 7th inning, 2 outs. The bases are empty, and we have a tie ball game. The new pitcher for the Academy Barons is Elias Valdez. The tall right-hander stands at 6 foot. He just finished his junior season at the University of Pacific, but he's another JUCO product. Spent 2 seasons at Golden West College, a native to Cyprus, and played at Kennedy High School. He'll face the 7-hitter Camden Andrews, and he fires a first pitch strike. Valdez is in his 2nd season with the Academy Barons, and last year he was brought into a lot of save situations. He went 2 for 4 in save opportunities, pitched 9 innings and had a 4 ERA flat. Gets a swing and miss, and Andrews is down in the count 0-2. In case you missed it, Freer picked up an RBI single that drove in Cannon King for the 5th run of the ball game, but Freer was thrown out at second on a strong throw from Morales. That's at the top of the zone. Strike 3. 3 pitches, and Valdez gets his first strikeout of the summer season. But the Saints tie things up in the top of the 7th, the 3rd tie we've had in tonight's ball game. There's been 3 different lead changes. An exciting finish brewing here at the Compton Youth Academy. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. A new pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the home half of the 7th inning. Right-hander who we saw warm up earlier in the bullpen. He now enters the game. That's Angel Escobar. Escobar is a right-hander. Stands at 6'1". Spent 2 seasons at Mississippi Valley State. But he's a native to Mission Viejo. And he wears number 50 only because he switched numbers with Andrew Miller in this evening's contest, but he'll usually be number 22 on the season. That's the new pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They're led by manager Aaron Milam. And the assistants are Matt Stone, Fred Puderith, and Jacob Castro. The Academy Barons are led by James Bishop. And the assistants on the staff are AJ Monterez, Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, Tashi Nakawake, and Jonathan Larga-Spada. A couple different new coaches this year for the Academy Barons. Nathaniel Williams to lead things off in the home half of the 7th, followed by Jason Del Villar and Nigel Buckley. That's the heart of the order, 3 very experienced hitters. Now Williams is a switch hitter, mainly because of his oldest brother, James Williams. There's 3 Williams brothers, James, Thomas, and Nathaniel. Time is called. Andrews talks with his pitcher, Escobar. But what's fascinating about the Williams family, all 3 brothers went to Ocean View High School. All 3 grew up as switch hitters, and all 3 played at Santa Ana College. James Williams spent this past spring as an assistant, so he got to coach his younger brother, which was pretty cool to see. And then Thomas just finished his senior season at University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. So Nathaniel will follow his middle brother's footsteps. That's ball 2. And all 3 brothers had standout careers at Santa Ana College. You can make an argument for all 3 of them, but I think where Nathaniel edges both is he finished with 9 home runs his sophomore season. Neither of the other 2 Williams brothers finished with more than 1 in the season. So he definitely hit for a lot more power. Nathaniel also finished first-team all-conference his freshman year. He played everywhere on the field, maybe a little bit more versatile than some of his brothers. Count is 3-1. Williams is 0 for 3 with an RBI today. Picked up 2 RBIs yesterday in the victory. Bloops one into center field, and it drops in front of Blake Mitchell, a leadoff base runner for the Academy Barons. Last summer, it was pretty cool, too, because Thomas Williams played for the San Diego Bombers. So there was a handful of games when the Bombers came to town that both Thomas and Nathaniel were playing and starting in the lineups against each other. But Thomas just finished his playing career. Nathaniel's at first. Asperger holds the runner. First pitch to Jason Del Villar. That's a hanging breaking ball, and strike 1. Nathaniel is a capable base stealer. This spring he stole 7 bases. Long pause from Escobar. That runs inside. Evens the count at 1-1. Last summer, Williams stole 5 of 8 stolen bases. Del Villar is 2 for 3. 2 RBIs, 2 extra base hits. Has scored twice. It's a whole lot of 2s in the box score for Del Villar. He smokes one into the Barons bullpen. Had a lot of strong contact this summer. Before the season started, the California Collegiate League produced an article of players to watch on each team, and Jason Del Villar was listed in that article for the Barons for good reason. 66 RBIs for Cal State Monterey Bay this spring, which is second most in program history. Williams takes off for second. Del Villar fouls it back, and Nat will have to make the long trip back to first. Not only did he finish with 66 RBIs, But he hit 318, scored 48 runs, 14 doubles, and 12 big flies for Del Villar. Native to Corona. Played at Corona Centennial High School. 1-2 pitch downstairs. Del Villar is another JUCO product. He spent 2 seasons at San Bernardino Valley College before transferring eventually to Sonoma State. Williams takes off again. That pitch runs inside. The throw by Andrews offline, and it skips away from Freer. Williams has his first stolen base of the summer. That's a player that gets stolen bases not because of his elite speed, but of his ability to read pitchers, time them up. Very savvy ball player. Del Villar has a runner in scoring position, full count. Escobar's pitch. Oh, that's strike 3. Tough break. Del Villar thought it was ball 4. He started taking off the gear. Generous call for Escobar on the mound. He catches the break. Got to bring up Nigel Buckley. Buckley picked up a single in the 6th inning. Yesterday, he went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Chases a pitch in the dirt. 0-1 to start the at-bat. The next pitch finds the zone. Escobar starts that breaking ball inside, and it breaks over to the inner half of the plate. Escobar also went the community college route. He played at Cerro Coso College before ending up at Mississippi Valley State. That's ball 1. 3 breaking balls to Buckley. Shows the respect that he garners at the plate. This ball is hit on the ground to the third baseman, Robinette. Over to first in time for the second out. That runner stays put at second. Antonio Lujan makes his way to the plate. While at Mississippi Valley State, Escobar pitched 9 innings, gave up 9 hits, 9 runs, all of which were earned. 7 strikeouts to 6 walks. Finishes with a 9.35 ERA. Mississippi Valley State participates in the SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference. First pitch to Lujan. Drops on the outer half. He's a native to Mission Viejo. That's what he lists his home team or hometown as, but went to Marietta Mesa High School, which is out in the Inland Empire. That's ball 1 of the at-bat. Lujan is 1 for 1 on the evening. Drew a walk in the 6th, hit by a pitch in the 2nd, a single in the 4th. Escobar gets the signs from the catcher, Andrews. Because at this level, too, there's no pitch calm. You'll see the catchers use a lot of different signs with the runner at second so they don't give an advantage to the hitter and relay the signs to the batter. That's ball 2. And having spent a lot of time with Nathaniel Williams, I wouldn't doubt if he was a very good sign reader at second base. That pitch is downstairs. Lujan's in the driver's seat. Caden Durazo is the batter on deck. Lujan, another player in the transfer portal. And that's ball 4. Seemed like the approach for Escobar is to not deal with Lujan, a very capable hitter. With the runner in scoring position, he elects to put him on base and elects to face the young infielder Caden Durazo. Just finished his freshman season at College of the Desert. The Roadrunners, usually a pretty solid team, and they won the conference this year, the Inland Empire Athletic Conference. First pitch to Durazo. Third baseman takes ball. No, that's strike 1. Durazo hit .292 in 38 games, 42 hits, 31 RBIs, 4 doubles on the season. That's another bender. Doesn't hit the spot. That's ball 1. Durazo with above average speed. Sends the next pitch foul. And there's 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning, 2 runners on base, 2 strike count to Durazo. We're tied for the second time this evening. Escobar's pitch, softly hit into shallow center. And Freer nearly collides with Immel, but it's Freer who makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Scary play in shallow center, but the Saints strand 2 runners on the base paths, and they keep things tied at 5. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. When we come back, top of the 8th inning, both teams are down to the final 6 outs to make something happen. We'll see how this game concludes after this. Top of the 8th inning, 8-9 1-hitters due up. Elias Valdez stays in the ball game for the Academy Barons. Threw 3 pitches for the final out in the 7th. Picked up a strikeout of Camden Andrews. 0-1 pitch is a swing and miss. Juan Pablo Monzo down in the count 0-2. Valdez was a fun player to watch last summer. 8 appearances, 9 innings, 2 saves. Swing and a miss. 6 pitches, all 6 have been strikes, and that's 2 strikeouts since coming out of the bullpen.
Number 6, Blake Mitchell.
The designated hitters retired. That's what you like to see from Valdez coming out of the bullpen. Very confident right-hander. Just come in and throw strikes. Does have plus stuff, but he challenges hitters. When he gets a hitter in an 0-2 count, doesn't try and get too cute. I think that's something that a lot of the younger pitchers can learn from a guy like Valdez. 1-0 count to Blake Mitchell, the center fielder. Takes back-to-back, misses. That was at the knees. It's ball 1. Mitchell hit a single in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Spent 2 seasons at San Diego City College and looks for a new home this summer. Lines one into center field. Tyler straight back on the run. Corrals it for the second out of the inning. So that's 9 pitches. 3 outs. Very efficient for Valdez.
Number 9, Dylan Emmel.
In the home half of the 8th inning, the Barons will send up their 8-9-1 hitters. Carlos Morales, Jackson Tyler, and Chip Mertz barring a substitution. We're tied at 5 in tonight's contest. Valdez first pitch to Dylan Emmel off the plate. Emmel drew a walk in the 1st and walked in the 5th. Struck out swinging in the 6th. Reached on an error in the 3rd. Valdez works quickly. That's a foul ball. The count is even at 1-1. Emmel, a native to El Segundo. Puts this one on the ground. Williams dives to his right, but stops the ball there. Can't glove it cleanly. It's an infield single for Emmel. The inning continues for the Saints. Emmel with the lead speed. We'll see how the veteran Valdez handles him. Another chance for Bryce Robinette. 0 for today. 0 for 3 with the walk. Valdez goes with a high leg kick. Ball 1. Very different approach since that first time he was on base. Emmel in the first inning was hopping up and down the first base line. This time small lead. Doesn't go. A check swing. Peeled down to first. No swing. That was another pitch in a great spot at the letters, but it's ball 2. During the next break in the action, we'll get you some scores from around the CCL, California Collegiate League. 2-0 is a breaking ball. Misses upstairs, and Valdez is behind 3-0. Sean Asperger is on deck. First baseman's 1 for 3 today. But it's a strikeout victim twice. That's high and tight. Robinette leans out of the way, a 4-pitch walk, and there's runners on first and second for the Saints offense. Morales calls a quick time, chats with his catcher, or chats with his pitcher, Valdez. Bishop makes his way from the dugout. There's a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for the Academy Barons. That's Jaden Edwards warming up in the bullpen. And he made a few steps out of the bullpen. However, Bishop gave him the halt sign. It's a quick conversation between Bishop and Valdez. With 2 outs, I'm sure Valdez has earned this chance to get the final out. But I'm sure this is his last batter he faces regardless of the result. We'll see if Valdez can come through. Earlier today, the Conejo Oaks defeated the Riptide 7-4, while the Santa Barbara Foresters defeated Philippines Baseball Group 13-1. A couple of other games going on in the Northern Division. We'll get you those scores in just a sec. Valdez steps off. Clayton gives the signs to Valdez. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Immel at second. Expect him to score on a ball hit into the outfield. Elite speed on the base pass. Robinette at first. First pitch. Oh, not sure where these pitches are missing, but that's ball 1. There's a 4-pitch walk to Robinette. 1-0 count to Asperger. In a very similar spot, but that's strike 1. Valdez hopes to keep things tied. Foul ball straight back. 2 strikes on the first baseman. Asperger drew a walk in the 5th inning, and he singled in the 3rd. Those are the only 2 times he's reached base. Struck out looking in both the 6th and the 1st inning. Valdez set. Runner takes off for third. Double steal attempt. Throw high. Durazo applies the tag. Bang, bang play, but the umpire rules him safe. Both Immel and Robinette pick up a stolen base. Durazo seems to be okay. He caught the brunt end of that slide from Immel. Heads up base running by Robinette. Didn't initially go, but he saw Immel take off and headed for second. Count is even at 2-2. There's 2 runners on, there's 2 outs. Humongous spot for Valdez, Asperger, and both teams. Valdez kicks, deals, check swing, and that's ball 3. Edwards warming up in the bullpen. He's ready to go. Cannon King awaits on deck. Top of the 8th. Payoff pitch from Valdez. Swing, and that's home plate umpire says he went around. So Valdez picks up a strikeout to end the inning. It was a check swing. Milam not happy with the call. Neither is Sean Asperger. But as it stands, Valdez picks up a strikeout to end the inning after he ran into some trouble. And he strands 2 runners in scoring position. In the bottom of the 8th, we'll see the Barons send up their 8-9-1 hitters. Carlos Morales to lead things off, and we'll get you some scores from around the CCL when we come back. Bottom of the 8th inning. Can the Barons find a run that breaks the tie and sends out a pitcher for a save situation in the top of the 9th? Carlos Morales to lead things off, and he'll face a new pitcher, as it's a lefty taking over for the Arroyo Seco Saints by the name of Griffin Rogers. Rogers wears number 34. He stands at 6 foot, and he just finished his sophomore season, both years at Occidental College, a Division III school in the county of Los Angeles. He's a native to Park City, Utah, so he left his home state to come play baseball in Southern California, and he has a place here in Pasadena to play baseball. He'll take on the 8-9-1 hitters. We'll get you some stats on the season, this past season, for the lefty Rogers. Morales behind on the fastball, first pitch strike. It's the fourth pitcher of the evening for head coach Aaron Milam. Joe O'Regan started the ball game, then Brendan Mullen, Angel Escobar, and Griffin Rogers. 0-1 count, nobody on base, nobody out. Morales can't connect. Very similar pitch to the last one. Rogers is a two-way player at Occidental. Only pitched his sophomore season. His 0-2. Morales down on strikes, and it's a very dominant first at bat for Rogers on the mound. 3 fastballs. Morales couldn't connect. Takes a long walk back to the dugout. An 0-for-3 day for the catcher. But back to Rogers. This spring, he made 18 appearances for Occidental College, finished with 7 saves. He pitched 29 innings, had a 5.65 ERA, 39 strikeouts to 12 walks. First pitch to Jackson Tyler, runs inside. Finished with 3 wins and 3 losses this season. Again, 7 saves. That tells you that they trusted him a lot in these late game situations. Tyler comes up empty, and the count is even at 1-1. Tyler's 0 for 1 today. His best contact was his last at-bat, resulted in a sacrifice fly. Drove in the 5th run of the ball game. Empty on another swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As a hitter, Rogers hit .372 this spring in 39 games, 51 hits and 137 at-bats. That runs the count even. He appeared in 35 games as a freshman, .248 batting average. Doesn't hit for a lot of power, 12 career doubles out of his 76 hits. Gets on base. The 2-2. Tyler stays alive. Long pause from Rogers. He steps off the mound. Time is called as Andrews makes his way to the mound. That will happen often in the beginning of the season as the players familiarize themselves with each other. Rogers asks for a new baseball. The 2-2. That misses inside. Good idea. Tyler displays a strong knowledge of the zone. Left-handed hitter awaits, and Chip Mertz. But you don't want a speedster like Tyler on the base paths. Another foul ball. Second foul ball of the at-bat. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Big league battle brewing between the two. Rogers on the mound. Tyler at the plate. Can the Barons find a way to get a base runner? Another payoff pitch. Rogers gets a strikeout victim for the second time this inning. A long at bat, but Tyler's retired. 2 outs for Chip Mertz, back to the top of the order.
Number 4, Chip Mertz.
Mertz has reached 3 times today. He's 2 for 2. A walk and a sacrifice bunt. Keeps his batting average perfect this evening. Breaking ball misses inside. That could have been a base runner. Center fielder Blake Mitchell shifts over a few steps towards right center. Lots of space in the left center alley. Lefty on lefty matchup. The next pitch from Rogers at the knees. Strike 1. In the top of the 9th, the Arroyo Seco Saints will send up their 4, 5, 6 hitters. Cannon King, Carson Panarisi, and Jacob Freer. Another pitch on the edge, strike 2. A very determined Griffin Rogers on the mound. Hasn't thrown a lot of balls. And the ones that he's thrown have been very close to the plate. The 1-2. Mertz stays alive. Fouls it off home plate. Battle between Evan Ryder and Nathaniel Williams for that foul ball. 2 former teammates at Santa Ana College. Williams gets the best of his former Don. The 1-2. Mertz puts it on the ground. A chance for Asperger. Leans over to his right, tosses it to his pitcher, covering. That's the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 inning for the left-hander, and we'll see if the Arroyo Seco Saints can break the tie in the top of the 9th. Cannon King to lead things off when we come back. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, new pitcher in the top of the 9th inning for the Barons. It's a right-hander by the name of Jaden Edwards. Edwards is going into his senior season, another local kid who played at Junipero High School in Gardena, along the likes of Nigel Buckley and a few others on this roster. But after 2 seasons at ELAC, East Los Angeles College, he then played at Jackson State this past spring. He enters with a tie ball game. He'll take on Cannon King to start the inning. King sends the first pitch foul. While at Jackson State, he made 22 appearances, pitched in 38 innings, picked up 4 saves, and a 4.93 ERA for the right-hander. 39 strikeouts to 35 walks. Count even at 1-1 to the right fielder King. Batters hit .201 against him. Very prominent batting average against, if he could just lower that walk total. That's the line on Jaden Edwards. Zips into fastball at the letters, and that's strike 2. King followed by Carson Panarisi, then Jacob Freer. 3 batters due up in the top of the 9th. That ball's in the dirt. King drew a walk in his last at-bat. 2 singles on the evening. 2 for 3 today. Ball driven into left center field, and that finds the gap. Tyler can't cut it off. King makes it to second, and it's a leadoff double for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Great contact by the left-handed hitter. And we'll see how the righty Edwards responds. We mentioned the scores that went final earlier in the Southern California region. We'll get you some scores at the next dead ball. We're breaking the action from the Northern California side. Both of the Southern California games went final. Runner on second. First pitch in the dirt. Great backhand from Carlos Morales. And Morales is familiar with Jaden Edwards. The two were at East Los Angeles College. Check that. No, they weren't. They weren't there together. Carlos Morales did spend the spring of 24 with the ELAC Huskies, but Edwards was there in 25. That's back-to-back pitches in the dirt, 2-0 the count. In his freshman season, Edwards spent the year at Cerritos College. So he went from Cerritos to ELAC to Jackson State. The 2-0 pitch. Ball roped deep, but it's going to be well foul. Fastball at the letters, and Panarisi almost made Edwards pay. The 2-1. Breaking ball. Hit on the ground for Durazo at third. That ball is ruled foul. Durazo made the throw to first in time. Smooth play by the native of Yucaipa. Count moves to 2-2. There's nobody out. Ground ball to the right side of the infield would advance the runner to third. Something you have to be mindful of if you're Panarisi. Big hole on the right side of the infield with Williams playing close to the second base bag. Runner takes off for third. Morales' throw. Durazo can't glove it cleanly. A stolen base for Cannon King. That pitch was high. Carlos Morales did the best he could, but the throw from him was high. Luckily, Durazo got a glove on it. It's a full count. Infield comes in for the Academy Barons. That's the leading run at third base. And Panarisi just sticks the bat out, makes contact, and stays alive. Foul ball. Keeps the count full. Next pitch from Edwards. Swing and a miss. Power fastball. Panarisi can't connect. First out of the inning. Huge spot for the Barons and the Saints. The Barons are the home team, so they'll get a chance to hit in the bottom of the ninth, regardless of what happens here in this inning. Elijah Clayton to lead things off for the Barons, but they still have 2 more outs to go. King's at third base, Jacob Freer at the plate. 1 for 3. Drives this one. Left center field. Tyler makes the catch on the run. The throw will not be in time. That plates the 6th run of the ball game. And the Saints are back on top, 6-5 in the top of the 9th. A loud sacrifice fly. Not an easy play for Tyler in center. That stolen base of King, when he stole third, ends up being the difference maker. 2 outs, base is empty for Camden Andrews. If you're the Barons, your hope keep this at a 1-run deficit. It's nothing, by the way. The Barons have been swinging the bats this summer, and you're sending up some very good hitters. Williams and Delviar both due up. In the bottom of the 9th, first pitch foul ball by Andrews. That one finds the corner for strike 2. Oh, 2 count, 2 outs. 1 run in for the Saints. They lead 6-5. Edwards kicks, deals. Some chin music as Andrews bends out of the way. The 1-2 pitch on the ground. A chance for Clayton. Strong throw across the diamond, and that's the 3rd out. But the Saints pick up their 6th run of the ball game. They have a 1-run lead heading into the bottom of the 9th. Just what you wanted if you're head coach Aaron Milam. But they'll face some dangerous hitters in Elijah Clayton, Nathaniel Williams, and Jason Delviar. It's Griffin Rogers who returns to the mound. And because he started pitching in the 8th inning, this is not a safe situation for the left-hander. We'll stay on the air. We'll stay on the air during this break in the action and give you some score updates again from the California Collegiate League. The Conejo Oaks defeated Orange County Riptide 7-4 earlier today, also in Southern California. The Santa Barbara Foresters defeated Philippines Baseball Group 13-1. Going on in Northern California, the San Francisco Seagulls have a 12-7 lead over the Sonoma Stompers in the top of the 8th. The San Luis Obispo Blues have a 7-1 lead over the Menlo Park Legends in the top of the 9th inning. And also in the top of the 9th, the Walnut Creek Crawdads have a 4-3 lead over the Alameda Merchants. Now, some of those teams the Barons will never play. It's very unfortunate that we don't get to see a lot of Southern versus Northern action. The only time we see it is in the showcase game, and the showcase game usually held here at the Compton Youth Academy. This year will be held in Reno. They made that change in the offseason. They will face the San Luis Obispo Blues because the Blues are so close to Santa Barbara Foresters. The Blues do make a trip down here to the Academy, and then the Barons will play the Blues on the road as well later on in the season. So it all comes down to this. Bottom of the 9th, the Barons trail by 1. 6-5 is the score. Griffin Rogers remains in the ball game. It's not a save situation because he pitched the 8th inning. He would get the win if the Saints hold on. First pitch to Clayton, tails back to the inner half. That's some gnarly movement from the southpaw. Clayton's 1 for 4 on the day, a single in the first inning. It's been quiet since. That ball's in the dirt. Clayton struck out swinging in the 6th, a ground out to short in the 5th inning, flew out to right field in the 3rd. Barons just need a base runner. Get on any way you can. Put pressure on Rogers and the rest of this pitching staff. Clayton skies it into the air. Andrews takes off the mask. This one's out of play. Bounces off the covering, and Andrews makes the catch. To 1 ball, 2 strike count to the shortstop. Clayton picked up a double yesterday, late in the ball game. His first extra base hit of the season. Can he come through with another here? The 1-2 pitch from Rogers. Foul tipped off the catcher. Andrews had a chance to glove that one. Instead, the count remains 1-2. Nathaniel Williams on deck. Jason Delviar in the hole. And if the Barons can get a base runner on, Nigel Buckley. Another 1-2 pitch. Strikeout for the first out of the inning. The 3rd of the outing for Rogers. Dominant performance thus far, but we'll see how he does against Nathaniel Williams. Capable hitter. Hits from the right side for the 3rd time today. Picked up a single in the 7th, stole 2nd. He has 2 flyouts and an RBI ground out on the day. 1 for 4. Behind on the fastball. That's right there for strike 2. Puts the fastball on the inner half. Barons down to their final 2 outs. The next pitch from Rogers. Williams sends it foul. Last year, in the first game of the season, the Barons walked it off against the San Diego Bombers. That's how they kicked off the 2025 campaign. 0-2 pitches in the dirt. Do they have another walk-off in them on opening weekend? The Barons will have their first road game tomorrow. They travel to Ventura College to take on the Conejo Oaks. They'll have Monday off and then return home to take on the San Diego Bombers Tuesday. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. The 1-2. That's inside. Count even. Long pause from Rogers. The southpaw is set. 2-2. Williams puts it on the ground. Tough play for Immel. Deep on the hole, and it kicks off his glove. That's an infield single for Williams. And that's the base runner the Barons desperately needed. Now you send one of the best hitters the Barons have in Jason Delviar. 2 extra base hits today. He has 2 home runs already on the season. And what a moment here. Power against power. Williams at first base, small lead. Puts this on the ground for Immel. Handles the hot hop. Throw to first is offline. It skips off the padding, and Andrews there to back it up. Williams is out at second. But Delviar stays alive, and he reaches on the fielder's choice. So it's all up to Nigel Buckley. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. More speed on the base pass as Sean Eiji checks in as a pinch runner. Native to Monterey. He was a teammate last year with Jason Delviar at Cal State Monterey Bay. So Buckley steps in for his battle with Griffin Rogers. First pitch, fouled straight back. Great pitch to hit. We'll see if Eiji gets the green light. 2 outs at the bottom of the 9th inning. He inches off first. Asperger holds the runner. That's above the letters for ball 1. At the very least, Eiji prevents or provides a distraction to Rogers. He's so focused, or he could be so focused, on the runner that he's not as sharp when he delivers home. Antonio Lujan awaits on deck. Eiji takes off for second. Buckley fouls this straight back. So Eiji rolls the dice. Buckley got a good pitch to hit. Fouled it straight back, so he's right on it. Can he straighten it out and put one in the play on a line and find a gap? Barons down to their final strike. Ishii small lead at first. Buckley fouls it off the mask of Andrews. He shakes off the foul ball. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Everyone on their feet in both dugouts. Tense situation at the end. Buckley steps back in. Swing and a miss. Andrews applies the tag, and that's strike 3, out number 3. And that's how this ball game comes to an end. Griffin Rogers picks up the victory, and the losing pitcher for the Academy Barons is Jaden Edwards. The Arroyo Seco Saints pick up their first win of the year. 6-5 is the final score here at the Compton Youth Academy. The Academy Barons pick up their first loss. They're 1-1. And they'll hit the road tomorrow to take on the Conejo Oaks. Pretty fun home stand to open up the year for the Academy Barons in 2026. Don't forget, the next time you can catch the Barons here at the Compton Youth Academy is Tuesday against the San Diego Bombers. They'll have back-to-back home games Tuesday and Wednesday next week. If you can't make it in person, you can always tune into the live stream here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. And don't forget, when you subscribe, you'll get a notification every time we go live from the Compton Youth Academy. For Daphne Bravo, Daniel Tom, who helps out with the broadcast, my name is Noah Alvarez saying thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. Your final score, Saints 6, Barons 5. We say so long, and we wish you all a good night.